Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Yo guys, General Kentucky here, back with another video, and today we're going to be hopping into a solo showdown tier list. Now your boy is not the best solo showdown player in the world, but I am pretty experienced and I like to think I know the meta pretty damn well. So I hope you're all hyped and psyched for this one. Let's get straight away into it. Here we go! Coming in at number 5 on this list, we have Mortis. Now Mortis isn't very good until you unlock his gadget, and when that happens he becomes an absolute beast in solo showdown, ripping around the maps, taking out brawlers like it's nothing. He can now 1v1 20 of the brawlers in the game, dealing over 5,180 damage to them at max level. And I'd always recommend Coiled Snake, just because it means that you can now dash in on brawlers when they're not expecting you to do so, especially if it's quite a bushy map. You can just pounce out and grab them. Another reason why Mortis is so good at the moment is because of his very fast movement speed. It now means that he can get closer to brawlers like Piper and Brock, who will be very good targets for him because of their very low health. Another really strong point that Mortis has going for him is his super. It allows him to heal up in tight situations if you're being pinched by 2 brawlers at once, or when trying to counter teamers. You can just pop your super and then just burst heal. This means that he can then dash in on the teamers without having to worry so much about getting killed quickly. That is going to be wrapping it up for Mortis. Now let's get straight away into number 4. Coming in at number 4 on this list, we have Max. Now you will notice a trend with most of these brawlers, and that is that they all have very fast movement speed. It's just so crucial for solo showdown as a game mode because it just allows you to go really aggressively against players and dodge shots easily. Max really fits the perfect showdown criteria. She has the very fast movement speed, she has high DPS, and she has a star power that can further increase her DPS. Now she is just so good because her burst damage is just unbelievable. Ever since the buff from the Christmas update, she has now become a very dominant brawler in the showdown meta. Now Max is also really good in the current meta because of all the maps in rotation. She works on all of them very well, whether it be a very closed off map with a lot of walls, or even if it's a very wide open map like Forsaken Falls. She works in both because her shots unload very quickly and she has a very good range, meaning that she can work in almost any scenario. When playing Max, you're going to have to be playing very aggressively, because if you're going to be playing passively, then it's either going to be very boring for you and you're not going to do very well, but you're also going to be bullied a lot because of your very low health. So keeping aggro and really taking advantage of the run and gun star power is going to really benefit you when playing Max, because you can just pressure people really well, which will lead to very fast games and far more efficient trophy pushing. That just about does it for Max. Now let's move on to number 3. Now what kind of solo showdown tier list would it be without Leon? Ever since he was released at Global, he's dominated this game mode in almost every single meta imaginable, whether it's long range or a tanky one. Leon just seems to thrive in showdown no matter what the meta is. Now Leon's super is absolutely perfect for him. As long as he gets it once, he can then keep chaining those supers over and over again, which is why he's so dominant in the showdown meta, and it really strengthens one of his greatest weaknesses, which is his long range damage. By getting his super, it means that he can get close up to enemies without them having any clue, and then he can burst them down very quickly. Leon's really enjoying the tanky metas at the moment because he can just charge up his super once and then go in on them, and most of the time he has enough damage to pull the kill out of the bag, especially if he has a couple of power cubes to assist him. Now this does mean that you will have to do quite a bit of poking and that it will be a little bit tedious at the start, but once you start changing those supers, it's so worth it. And either of Leon's star powers work really well for Showdown. If it's quite a closed up map, you're going to want to use Invisi-Heal because there will be a lot of tanks on the map and you'll want to heal up if you can't finish off the kill. However, if the map's quite wide open, then you will want to use Smoke Trails because it'll allow him to just travel across the map a lot faster and get kills on brawlers who have a longer range. That does it for Leon. Let's move on to number 2. Ever since gadgets were introduced into the game, Crow has thrived in the meta, especially in Showdown. Crow's gadget now gives him roughly 5,000 health, which means that he can now feel very comfortable when going up close range with tanks, or if they do pressure him, he might be able to go a bit more aggro on them. Along with his gadget, Crow also has a very fast movement speed and a super that allows him to be very mobile across the map. Mobility is so crucial for Showdown because it will mean that you can get kills easier, hunt your enemies down, or escape from tight situations. Effectively in Showdown, mobility means you have more survivability, and Crow is just about as mobile as brawlers get in Brawl Stars. Now his gadget helps to cover up his biggest weakness, which is his low health. This means that his survivability is drastically increased and he's temporarily given a total of about 6,000 hit points over the course of his 3 different gadgets. Now his super pairs up incredibly well with his gadget because it rewards Crow for being highly aggressive. This could be jumping in on brawlers that are far stronger than you at close range, such as tanks that are at low health. And it can also increase the chance of getting a kill on a higher powered cube brawler. Now the worst thing that can happen to you in Showdown is if you're chasing someone down and they start healing back up again because they've hidden around a wall. But with Crow, that chance greatly decreases because he will keep enemies under poison for an extra 5 seconds, which means that that's an extra 5 seconds that they can't heal up and you can catch up to them again. His gadget can come in handy so frequently, and also when chasing down brawlers from a distance. Let's say you're chasing down a Piper or a Brock and they're absolutely destroying you, they're landing all their shots. You can just pop your gadget and keep pressuring them until you get the kill. Take advantage of Crow's really strong gadget while you can, because I can see an incoming nerf in the future. Let's get into the number 1 spot on the list. Now taking number 1 spot on this list is going to be BB. The movement speed buff that BB received after the last balance changes has really helped her out in the meta, because before she was incredibly weak, but now she can really hold her own in Showdown. Now either star power for BB can work, but if the map is quite closed off and there are a lot of walls, I would recommend using the shield star power because it can protect you against an ambush from a couple of tanks. But you will want to be using home run on those longer range maps so that you can catch up to brawlers that are far away, and it also means that you can travel across the map faster. Now that BB has a very fast movement speed, her 12% speed boost now gives her a huge advantage, and it only takes a couple of seconds to charge back up again. Now BB's gadget allows her to heal 2400 health over the course of 4 seconds. When this gadget is coupled with the batting stance star power, it means that she has a health of 9680 hit points, meaning that she has a lot of survivability. But she is also very maneuverable. Now although BB was designed to be a tank counter, she's actually quite the opposite, and tanks counter her. But her knockback ability means that she can keep them at a far distance where she feels more comfortable. All of these factors combined make BB one of the best brawlers in the game, and certainly the best Showdown brawler in the current meta. That will be wrapping it up for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks guys.